Hello.
I'm Kimberly.
I'm Michael.
And we just saw Mad Max,
Furiosa.
Furiosa.
A Mad Max saga.
I know you've seen a lot of the Mad Max movies, right? How many have you seen?
I've seen all 5 of them.
All 5 of them. Okay, so I just saw Mad Max Fury Road. That was the first one I saw. And this was the second one I saw. So for me, I came into the movie blind, not knowing what it was about, not doing any research. And I remember wondering, is this based on a comic book? I don't think it is. But it was just such a fantasy world that I thought, oh, maybe it might be based on a comic. But I guess it's just, this fictional reality where what would happen with human beings if there was no government, if we had no law and we had limited resources and we're living out in the desert. I liked Charlize Theron as the female hero of that story, the badass. I think she makes a great, strong female lead.
Remember we were talking about aliens and
yeah.
how we were like...
Sigourney Weaver is still my all-time favorite.
In Aliens, but Charlize Theron on Fury Road is as close as you can get to that.
Yeah.
That's as close of a character
as you can get to.
As a woman character, I feel like, action character.
As a strong female action character. Yeah, I would say...
She was better than Tom Hardy.
Comment below who your favorite, badass action role is, whether that's male or female. I'd be curious to know. And comment below if you've seen all the Mad Max movies and then watched this, or if you're like me, who went in blind watching it, because I wonder if my perception would change had I watched some of the other Mad Max movies before this one. Anna Taylor-Joy, I liked her. I've liked her in some other things I've seen. I liked her in the movie The Menu. Really liked her in that, and I liked her in Queen's Gambit. But this, and it's interesting too because she didn't say anything.
Yeah, in these films, the main character never talks.
Yeah,
that's kind of the thing about these movies. She probably had 10 lines of dialogue for the whole movie.
Because even in the older versions with Mel Gibson, that character didn't talk a lot either, right? Yeah, so I guess that's the trope.
He barely says anything. But there's always a character that talks a lot in each of the films. There's always a talky character, and that's what Chris Hemsworth is in this film. He's the talky one, kind of like Nicholas Hoult in the Fury Road, or Bruce Spence in the old Mad Max films. You have to have a character that says a lot of stuff while the lead is kind of staring at them.
And Anna, right?
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Anna Taylor. She does. She is very expressive with her eyes. There's a lot going on, beneath not saying anything. And I always like movies that aren't dialogue heavy if there's a lot of other things going on, a lot of emotions going on. So she does convey a lot with her eyes, but she didn't captivate me the same way Charlize Theron did. But what did you think of Chris Hemsworth's performance?
So Chris Hemsworth is, to me, the best part of the whole movie. He's conflicted. He's very complicated. He's funny. He's also his name is Dementus, which
is that supposed to mean demented?
Yeah, so these are kind of they sort of take these faux Latin names for everything. So the guy with the white hair's name is Immortan Joe.
What does that mean?
Rather than immortal, it's Immorten.
But it's supposed to stand
it's supposed to be a Latin way of saying it. It's wrong, but it's supposed to indicate that it's they're like the Roman gods.
Oh, so he's supposed to represent
He's the Greek conqueror of this world. That's what that. If you notice on the big truck, the big war rig that they're driving, there's all these engravings with his image on them, much like the old Roman chariots or Alexander the Great. It's all just it's basically saying that if society fell apart, all of these weirdos would emerge that would be like these conqueror types. And Chris Hemsworth is one of those characters, but he's this really strange, bizarre villain, and you really enjoy hating him, but you also you hate him, but you're also fascinated and you want to watch him.
He's charismatic. He's the villain, but he's charismatic and kind of funny. The part where he was watching, or the part where I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but something really violent happens, and I hate violence. I don't like watching violence. So I was just like, oh, I don't want to watch this. It's hard. But his reaction to that was kind of funny because you see him almost have like trying to suppress his guilty conscience during this one part, which was fun to watch him, like almost comical, like I'm gonna suppress my guilty conscience, that I don't have any space in my mind for compassion or softness, you know. There's something kind of almost comical about the way he plays this villain that was sort of
he's almost like the demented Captain Hook of the story.
Yeah.
If you actually look at it, it's a little almost like a Never Land kind of twisted fairy tale about this girl that goes through this whole thing from the start to finish, grabbing the fruit and then ending spoilers with the fruit. But yeah, it's a visually it's a pretty astounding accomplishment to make this movie visually.
I kept wondering if there was going to be a sandworm.
Yeah, it's funny that it comes out right after Dune 2. But
another desert movie. Yeah, no sandworms in this one. So let's talk about first what we did like about it, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we didn't really like about it, and then we'll see if we want to recommend it to friends.
Yeah, I like the stunts, the visuals. I do like some of the storytelling as it applies to the some of the actors doing their thing. I think Hemsworth is really good. I think Anna Taylor is good for what she's tasked with. It's not easy to not have any lines.
Yeah.
I like her buddy, the driver guy. That kind of he's a good character. And then another character I liked.
But you liked a lot of the characters. Like, you thought they were entertaining. So that's something you liked about it.
Yeah, the characters are well conceived. There's no bad character in it. I mean, it's that part is well done. It's just what is the story you're telling?
Okay, so you liked the stunts. I agree. The stunts were visually pretty pretty wild to watch. I don't like violence, so I didn't. But it was well executed, well choreographed. So all the stunts. I mean, if you like stunts, you're definitely gonna like this movie. And visually, it was great. And I agree with you. I think Chris Hemsworth, his performance was great. I also really liked the other guy that kind of bonded with the main character. What was his name? You know who I'm talking about. They almost like, I don't want to give away spoilers,
Jack,
but was that his
name?
Jack? I liked him, and I don't know his name as an actor, but I liked some of the performances, including his. So yeah, there's definitely some things I liked about it. Do you want to talk about what we didn't like?
Yeah, so I didn't like the story itself. I don't think the story itself is film worthy. I think it's a kind of a weird story that we've seen before, where it's the kid from a young age to we know what she's going to become, so it's like this origin story, but we're also watching her, like, how is she going to get to the revenge stuff. And I think there's like a chapter called Beyond Revenge. So.
Yeah, I to piggyback off that, what I didn't like, the chapters were so like, you know, they have text pop up, this is this chapter, this is that chapter, and then there's a narrator. And to me, I still don't understand who was narrating it, why they were narrating it. And the chapters were kind of cheesy to me and just kind of funny. Like, they're telling you what to expect. So there's no surprise there. Yeah. And then the overall story, I agree with you. I just, I couldn't quite follow. I still don't know what this paint is that they're spraying on their face.
It's a chrome paint. It's like a drug, and it causes them to disassociate.
But it doesn't explain that in the movie. But you know this because
it's self apparent, because that's what happens as soon as they spray it. Then they're like, I'm ready to die, and then they kill themselves. So it's not really explained, but it's just them kind of being in this cult, basically.
Yeah, and I don't like violence, so I didn't like that part of it. I didn't like that the part of the story that's just really sort of like dark and dismal and human beings are, I would hope that human beings wouldn't actually behave this way, but it does make you kind of question, like, how would human beings behave if there was no government, if there was no law, if there was limited resources. So I do like that thought-provoking question, like, how would human beings behave? Would they behave this poorly towards each other? Would we be violent? Would we be like animals? Would we form like these weird cults? So I do like that it kind of makes you think about that, but and I do like that they try to to add a little hope there at the end. But overall, I'm not a huge fan of the story itself.
Yeah, it's too long, and he's very much in love with these cars and motorcycles driving over things. I think I started counting at one point. This is minutes upon minutes of watching vehicles drive over hills or terrain, or drive up somewhere, or drag somebody, or have somebody jump. It was protracted sequences with these cars and these trucks driving.
Yeah, a little too long. And
that's what Mad Max is, but
yeah, and I was also kind of wondering if I was missing some of the deeper symbolism, if there is deeper symbolism, are they trying to make a statement about, women and society, and I don't know if I quite understood what they were going for there, but and then the ending, I like that they were trying to be hopeful at the ending, but I don't want to give away the spoiler, but the ending was just so far-fetched. It was laughable, like, this is what she's doing, like.
I won't give away the ending, but I will plant the seed for the ending.
Pun intended.
But it definitely is a very strange sort of symbolic, like, wraparound that they do. I don't know. There's some sort of message in there that I can't get my head around about women and men controlling everything, and women having control of their own bodies, etc. There's some message in there that was definitely not a big message in the first Fury Road, if you consider this a two-parter. Anyway, I would like to see this director make more of these. I would love to see him bring Mel Gibson back at an old age, play Max.
That would be interesting.
In this world, in this version of the Mad Max world, I think it would actually be like a lot of fun. So I hope he continues. But
so would you recommend this movie to friends or family? Is the next question.
It's a tough call. I mean, if you liked Fury Road, then yes. If you're not a big fan of Fury Road, then I would say,
is it worth?
I would say watch Fury Road again and decide if you like it. Give it another chance. If you don't like it, don't watch this. Because if you don't like Fury Road, or you've not seen Fury Road, this is going to make absolutely no sense.
No sense.
So
yeah. So would I recommend going to the theater, paying to see it in the theater? I think because this movie is very much spectacle, sort of like Dune. If you like spectacle, if you like action movies, if you like, fight scenes and stunts, then you probably will like this movie. But if you like movies that are a little more about character development and relationships and a little bit deeper, you may not like this movie. You may not want to pay to see it. Maybe wait till it comes out in a different format.
Yeah, or if you just want to go see, like, I don't know what else is out right now. The reason I wanted to see this is because I thought it would be interesting to see it on a
big screen
in a theater. It's built for that. It's not, so those are the main reasons. But it's fun. At the very least, it's fun.
So would you give it on a scale of 1 to 5? How would you rate it?
3.
Yeah, I'd probably rate it maybe 2.5. So, but comment below if you've seen this movie. Let us know your thoughts. Did we miss the mark? Do you think we're wrong? Do you think we're right? Do you share the same beliefs about the movie? I'd love to hear from you. Also, comment below if you'd like to see us review any other movies coming up. Love to start some dialogue, because to me that's the whole point of seeing movies, is to stimulate dialogue and talk about it.
Yeah.
So let us know your thoughts, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.